Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and we're going to talk today about a little bit more uh, wrestling. I've been watching wrestling this week, um, and I watched a lot of WWE and AEW. Watched Monday night, a good portion of it. Didn't get to see it all. Watched AEW Dark Elevation. Watched NXT AEW Dark, and then Wednesday watch Dynamite. Tonight I won't have the opportunity to get to watch TNA and New Japan, New Japan Strong, but and of course this will be out before Friday, so I won't get to watch Rampage and SmackDown. But here's the thing: there's a lot going on with wrestling, and I'm wondering if they're picking sides to do like a giant Survivor Series type thing. We have the Bloodline, uh, Roman, Solo Sikoa, uh, the Usos, and then on the other side, so far, it's kind of become Sami Zayn, uh, Cody Rhodes, and I get the feeling Kevin Owens will join in. So there'll probably be a fourth one of them to uh, come into the group. We could even see one other extra adding beyond that to be um, 5-on-5 or something like that. Right now, it looks like it could be a 4-on-4 setup, though. Um, yeah, I don't know how long they'll let these title reigns go. Although I do feel that the Usos will probably lose to Sammy and KO. It just feels like they're setting that up. It it really does. Uh, but for right now, they're just not really giving any signs that the any clear signs that Roman or the Usos when they will lose their belts. But the thing they seem to be continually pushing is that feud. Meanwhile, we have an interesting thing seeing Lita and Becky Lynch winning the women's tag team titles from Damage Control. And then Damage Control and Bayley beating up on Trish Stratus, who helped Lita and Becky Lynch win those titles. So we're going to see a 3-on-3 more than likely. There's a lot of faction clashes going on right now within WWE. Uh, in AEW, the dark shows, Elevation and Dark, do great. They help a lot of local talent get seen. as well as help the lower and mid cards uh, grow their profiles. So I completely back shows like Dark and Elevation by all means. Dynamite was pretty interesting. A triple trios matchup. JAS, the Elite, and the House of Black all taking on one another. And then you have this clash between the Dark Order and Hangman Page versus the Blackpool Combat Club. I kind of wonder how that's going to end up going because they keep clashing with the Blackpool Combat Club usually coming out on top. It's going to be interesting. But it looks like they're really building the BCC up to be impressively powerful. The other thing in AEW, they have built the Outcast up. It's now formerly what's Paige, now known as Saraya. Tony Storm and uh, Ruby Soho. So all three of them are together in one group. They're supposed to be like these big time veteran, big name wrestlers who are looking to push around the homegrown talent. You know, the lesser known wrestlers. And the group they've got together so far to push back on that is Willow Nightingale, Riho, what was the other girl? My mind's blanking. Sky Blue. And then, as another side of this, you've got Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, who are kind of siding with the Willow Nightingale, Riho, and Sky Blue faction. Kind of. They're not technically buddy buddy, but it's like we both have the same enemy technically for now. Let's be allies. But the one person I'm wondering where she is in all this, Hikaru Shida. Yeah. And another thing, AEW needs more women's titles. It's brought in all these men's titles and it's barely done anything with the women. The women are almost a forgotten division. Honestly, in on the women's side of the organization, you have women's world title, TBS title. While on the men, you have the world title, TNT title, international title, tag team titles, trios titles. They need to start building up some of the other titles for the women as well. I would love to see a women's tag team, you know, division where you have tag teams going at it. Give them that third singles title, like you have the international title for the men. You can do a trios if you want, but I figure you at least need to put an equal side on at least those two for right now. Tag titles have been needed for a long, long time. Used to have a dominant tag team with Ivelisse and Diamante, but Ivelisse left. But I would love to see some of these because you have a number of factions in the women's division. You really do. Marina Shafir, and Nyla Rose do a lot of wrestling together on Dark and Dark Elevation. Wrestle a lot as a tag team. They could be, in contention. You've got other tag teams you see a lot of in the women's divisions. Sky Blue and what's her name? Though she's there mainly as a trainer now. Madison Rain? Yeah, Madison Rain. You've got other groups. And a third women's singles title would be nice to have. I understand the want to have all these titles for the men's division, but you need to give a little love to your women's division because right now it is just underlooked. They keep signing all these big male names, although hands clap to them. They brought in Taya Valkyrie, another big name you could have in the uh, women's division that competes for different titles. It's like with AEW, the women's division is an afterthought. It's just kind of disappointing, guys. That isn't to say WWE's doing the best things either. Vince should have never tried to come back. He was a poison on the brand for the last couple years. When he left and it was totally under Triple H's control, there is so much that brightened up with WWE. But with Vince back, no, no, no. He just needs to give it up. He really does. He's made the organization. I fear he's going to make it really toxic as an organization because they'll once again go back to the same old Vince formula. And let's get this straight. Vince has made some big stars, but he's made a lot of failures as well. He and his tendency to only want these big, huge, hulking monsters when a lot of your smaller guys are great wrestlers. You know, you have some great names in there that aren't these giants. Ricochet. I love Ricochet. I would love to see more people like that. you know, some people that aren't just, I am buff, I crush you, or I am big man, I crush. You know, I think it's only Ricochet and Rey Mysterio that are like little guys in WWE right now. That's how it feels, honestly. Vince, he always wanted these gigantic muscle bound guys. Even those in technique, he just, he thought, okay, that's all right, eh, but it'd be funny if we did this. Cite FTR. Cite Bret the Hitman Hart. You know, so that's one thing I am proud of AEW for doing, being willing to have some of the smaller guys be potent, uh, be the big title contenders. You don't need everything to be all giant muscle men. I mean, Vince got in enough trouble over the steroid scandal. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to give some thoughts on how wrestling's going. Again, I won't get to watch any Impact Wrestling or New Japan or Rampage or SmackDown when this video comes out. But, you know, just looking at things this week and everything, things that need to be, I feel, need to be done and looked over. So, anyway, as always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, later.